Yeah, well, I don't know if she can hear us. She's getting ready. Her what is very creative?
Slide.
What's like? Oh, I didn't see it. All right, I'm gonna send out the link.
Review on YouTube. Let's see if anyone comes.
At least if nobody comes, it'll be just us, right?
Let's see how
I'm
many.
back. What?
Welcome back, Ellen.
Hello.
I heard you shit talking me, Kush.
What?
Hold on. Wait, let me put.
You done getting ready, Ellen?
I was in my pajamas. I was taking a fat nap because I was feeling nauseous, but I'm okay now.
I'm glad to hear you're feeling okay, but so we still have to get ready.
I looked rough. Trust me. Hold on.
What's new?
Your camera's still not on. Come on.
Hold on.
I'm on the edge of my seat here, Ellen. I can't wait to see what you're getting ready.
Oh my god.
You're so enthused.
I'm trying to put a necklace on, so it just makes the outfit. Yeah. Turn on the lights. Let's turn on a reminder of the SummerHacks.
Yeah, Ansh did.
Bro, if I turn on this camera, I'm still looking rough. I'm really, really disappointed.
Ground should I use for this one?
Ah, there we go.
Holy crap, you got ready fast.
Those look
I've seen her before. You should have seen her before she left. She looked literally right out of bed.
Wow.
Ah.
I'll use this one. This is a good back.
That was a good one. Oh.
Puppy.
She's been sleeping all day, which has been awesome for me. All right.
Oh, let me get out my questions.
Okay, sweet. So there are questions.
A
Wait,
few. I mean, it's just gonna be the standard stuff, and then I'll riff the rest.
Puppy.
she's been sleeping all day.
I got so confused just
Time
now.
loop.
Me too.
I'll just randomly start unmuting it throughout the thing.
Got a couple people watching.
Yeah.
Good.
If you were here live, thank you for coming. We will get started very, very shortly. As usual, feel free to drop questions in the YouTube chat, or just ask them on Slack afterwards because we're all on the Slack and, we're organizers. Also, as usual, I hope you're having a fantastic day.
How's your day, Ansh?
Great. Thanks for asking.
Uh-huh.
Basically, I had the day off because I finished all my shit. It's good stuff.
Wow.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get started. Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming. Welcome to our seminar. Today, we are joined by the directors and one of our co-leads here from Freetail Hackers. This is just going to be a seminar where we're going to talk a little bit about our experience in organizing hackathons, and then potentially answer any questions that you guys may have. As usual, of course, I might have already mentioned this, but drop questions in YouTube or Slack, and we will get to it as soon as we can. So I'd like to start off by just having all of our panelists, quote unquote, introduce themselves here. So let's go around, say our names, say our majors. School doesn't really matter. We all go to UT. And then let's see, what's a fun question we can do? Favorite candy bar? Why not? Let's do alphabetical by first name.
All right.
Not including me.
Not me.
Arjun, you're muted.
So that is me. I'm Arjun. I'm the tech director for Freetail, and my favorite candy bar, maybe Butterfinger. Oh no, Twix.
Ew.
Ooh.
Okay, yeah. Butterfingers are nasty, dude. I'm sorry.
No. All right. Well, my name's Brant, and my favorite candy bar is a Butterfinger, just to piss off.
Oh, well, no, that's disgusting, dude. I'm sorry. Those are nasty.
Oh, and I'm the co-lead.
Okay, I'm Dee Dee. I am a CS major. I am the outreach director for Freetail Hackers. And my favorite candy bar is either like Kit Kats or like those cookies and cream Hershey's bars.
Those are good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I keep thinking about the last time we did alphabetical order and Kush. Guys, I'm Ellen. I'm a design major. I'm also Freetail's creative director, and I would say Crunch Bar would be my favorite one.
It's an unpopular choice.
Mm.
They're okay.
Good.
Hi guys, my name's Kush. I'm a computer engineering major at UT, and my favorite candy bar, I'd say, it's a tie between Twix and a Snickers bar. So.
Those are good choices. Those are very good choices. And I am your host tonight. My name is Ansh. I'm a CS and math major at UT. I'm the corporate director for Freetail, and my favorite candy bar is an Almond Joy. If you don't like it, you can go suck on it. Yeah, they're fantastic. I love the coconut.
Wait. You're gonna come after us.
Kind of fun.
They're better than Butterfingers. We'll fight about this later.
Okay.
All right. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for coming.
Meeting.
All right. The way this will go, I'll just maybe ask a question or something, and whoever wants to answer can jump in. We can float the question around before moving on to the next one. So first, let's start off really easy. What is your favorite part about being a Freetail organizer?
I'll go first. I really like being in Freetail because first of all, it's just a really fun family to be around, and that's the whole reason I joined in the first place. But it's really fun to be able to work alongside people who are super passionate about the same thing that you're passionate in, obviously. Yeah, and then you can really do some really cool stuff. We're all super hardworking, so it's just a really fun thing to be a part of.
I am super hard work.
Definitely, I would say joining Freetail was probably the best thing I did for my college career. Well, so far. I joined and I really had no clubs I was in. I'm obviously not in a sorority or anything. I don't have that kind of money. But now I joined, and this was probably this was my college family. I really found a community here. So not only am I brushing up on skills to beef up my resume and, accomplish some tasks and make myself feel good, but I also found some great friends. So.
Oh, Ellen, you're our family too.
Oh.
Who's next?
I can go next. So specifically about Freetail, one of my favorite memories was at Hack Texas this past year. And I don't know how many of you watching are actually organizers, but there's a lot of stuff that happens behind the scenes that just as attendees you don't really know about at the hackathon. So just kind of working with the team to put out these fires as they come up has been a really good experience throughout my college career.
Yeah.
They're not fun at the time, but I guess in retrospect they did seem fun.
I think for me, like echoing what like Brant and Ellen were kind of talking about, I think just like the people have made this org so amazing. I think that's like why I stayed in it. But I think why I initially joined was like just like the ability to like throw on an event for so many people and like give people a platform to like create something was always something like that I really liked about the org. And also just like the freedom within the org to like kind of have an idea and like run with it and just like make it happen is also really cool.
For me, I really like the culture, as everyone already said. It's like a really close-knit org, and it's like everyone definitely knows each other, which is really great. And since I work on the tech side of things, I definitely really like how whatever you kind of work on gets used by so many people. I know that like, especially when you're just like a student, you don't really get to feel that until you might start in a job. But like just having so many people like look at your website or use your registration system, like those kind of things just kind of, I guess it's just a feeling of pride kind of.
Yeah, it's gratifying. Yeah, for sure. Okay, quick follow-up on that. I noticed a lot of you talked about the culture. And I speak from experience when I say this, but not all orgs kind of have the same culture. I do think Freetail has kind of set itself apart, at least in my experience. So what do you guys think is some sort of tip that you would give to other organizers that are looking to get that kind of culture within their own organization?
I think I think Didi kind of touched on this, but just allowing students to really take an idea and run with it is huge, because people are passionate about different ideas. Like this Summer Hacks was an idea that that we kind of had, and we hadn't done anything like this before, but the org supported it and we ran with it, and I think it turned out really well. So yeah, I think that's one of the really great ways to really get people involved, is to let them do what they're passionate about. Just let them do what they enjoy, and the joy will come along with it.
I was gonna say socials.
And why can't it be both, right? Maybe you need both.
Both of them. Definitely what Brant said too. Yeah, it's really great to have the teamwork. Just listen to what everybody in the whole org has to say. Yes.
Anyone else have anything to add on that?
I'd say Brent nailed it.
Yeah, indeed he did. Moving on. Okay, let's take the flip side, right? So before we asked, what was your favorite part of being an organizer? So can you guess what I'm going to ask next? What is your least favorite part about being a Freetail organizer?
I would have never guessed that.
Yeah, we're really hitting you with a curveball here. Who wants to go first?
I'd argue I'd say it's almost the pressure, because as like a college student, I never expect to be putting on an event for so many people with so many sponsors, so many companies coming on. It's kind of a high stakes event, at least for the organizers on our side, because we put so much time, energy, money into this whole enterprise that during the hackathon, those 24 to 36 hours are usually pretty stressful, just in terms of making sure that everything goes smoothly, especially because I'm the logistics director, which means that's kind of my job, like specifically my job. So that's, I'd say, the hardest part. But in the end, just seeing the hackathon come together kind of makes it worth it.
Yeah, going off of that, I feel like as organizers, we definitely stress out a lot, especially leading up to things. And then I guess the attendees don't really notice that, like it goes pretty smoothly for them. So it's like kind of you're over worrying about things. But even if you don't worry about them, then I guess things wouldn't go as well. So that's kind of a downside, but I guess something that's necessary as well.
Yeah, I think part of the reason for that pressure for us is because like we only put on a couple events per year, and they tend to be like really big, whereas like other orgs that aren't like hackathon orgs tend to have like multiple events throughout the year. So if one of them flops, it's like fine because they have more. But for us, like we put all of our eggs in like this one basket, and like that makes it like very stressful leading up to it, but it's also like what makes it so like rewarding. It's because like we've put so much time into this one thing, and like if it goes well, like that's like super rewarding. But it also does like add a lot of pressure, and I think that's probably my least favorite part too. And just like I guess like also like hearing like negative feedback about our events, because like we put so much effort into it. It's like little things kind of like they mean a little bit more because we put so much more into it.
And I think that's something that I've especially had to kind of learn, is that things are going to go wrong and people are going to be mad no matter what you do.
Yeah.
People are going to find a reason to be mad. So it's just kind of figuring out how to minimize that and move past it. So, which has been really kind of difficult to deal with, I guess.
I think it's been especially difficult recently, like, like especially for virtual events, people are always saying, you need to use this medium, or we don't want to use this medium, or we want to text you this way or whatever. So, just kind of figuring out that you can't always make everyone happy is kind of a tough job.
Yeah, it's hard to please everybody.
Yeah, but I mean, that's our job, right? So we do what we can.
But that's the thing, is getting those pieces of advice kind of sting at first, but in the end, it makes us a better org, and we live and you live and you learn. So
Agreed. Okay. Yeah, let's move on. I think, yeah, let's do one more general question. I think some of you have touched on this a little bit, but could you elaborate on why you made the decision to join Freetail or just join the hackathon space in general? Like what drew you to this organization?
So for me, I went to Code Red, which is University of Houston's hackathon, my senior year of high school, and loved it. They put on a great event, and I think from there, me and a few friends, kind of back in high school, said, we kind of want to do this for our own school, and so we ended up putting on a high school hackathon for our high school, and I didn't expect to enjoy it as much as I did, but putting on that kind of event for people was really impactful for me. And so when I first got to UT, I was like, I'll take a step back and kind of take it easy for a little bit. And then as soon as registration opened up for Freetail, I registered and joined anyways because I loved it so much. So I think just kind of echoing what I've heard before from people, just hackathons are such a cool event for pretty much anybody. Anybody can come in and learn anything and create anything, which is just mind-blowing. In 24 hours, the things that beginners can make in 24 hours is bizarre to me. So that's what drew me in.
True.
Yeah, for me, I was drawn in because actually they came and talked to me at my design class. Lucy Zhao, the last Freetail director, came over and she came to the art building, and I was just a tiny freshman and I wasn't in anything yet. And it was kind of hard for me trying to find a place. I joined a few different orgs.
Weren't you a sophomore when you joined?
Yeah, I think I applied end of freshman year, and then
I see. Okay.
and I was a sophomore. So yeah, it was the end of my freshman year, and I was still looking for that space. As I said before, Freetown had become my family, but at the time I was kind of like, oh, I have some friends, but I haven't got any space where I'm super super close. So I went and I listened. I thought, this is a really cool opportunity. One, because I get to use my skills for something that would benefit this whole organization. I would get to design for them, and that in itself is so freaking cool. So I went and applied. I dressed up very, very formally
Really?
for my interview with Josh Lowe, who was the creative director at the time.
I bet he didn't dress up formally.
Yeah, he's wearing his baseball cap that he always does. He was there in his jeans and t-shirt, but it was really great. And I interviewed, I over prepared, which was great. And then I got in, and then I remember the first meeting I walked in and saw Kush from my high school. Why the hell?
I can't imagine how terrifying that must have been. I'm so sorry.
It was kind of scary, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'll give you the number for my therapist. Can't believe that.
I need to talk about it for a bit. But honestly, the year following, it's been like a year now. It's just been great. One of the best decisions I made. I've gotten to create, as I said, find a family, just do all this cool stuff.
Cool. Who else?
I first found out about Freetail from Hack Texas my freshman year. So this is my first hackathon ever. I didn't really know what a hackathon was. I just saw an ad somewhere and decided to apply and go. I did absolutely nothing. I left after I think 13 hours with nothing created. But I really liked the energy and just how helpful the other people were. I asked this random guy sitting next to me for help setting up I don't even remember what it was, some random technology that I never touched again. And that guy dropped his work and spent a solid 45 minutes just teaching me the basics of that. And that was pretty awesome because I didn't expect someone to just spend that time helping a complete stranger. That kind of introduced me to the hackathon community. I applied, I interviewed with Shishir and then that was that.
I think.
Katie, Arjun? Sorry, continue.
I think for me, I wasn't able to go to Hack Texas my freshman year because there's an age limit, and I did not meet that. But I'd like heard of it from like just from being in like CS and like everyone was talking about it. And I think before high school I had done like some like event organizing, and so I knew I liked organizing big events with like a lot of people, and I really knew that like that's something that I like using my skills to do because of like the potential to like impact so many people. So I was like, I guess this could be like a cool combination of like both the CS and like the organizing things. And then I applied, and then I was like, wow, this is really cool. And since then I've like really enjoyed it.
For me, so I didn't go to Hack Texas freshman year either. I don't think I got in, or I applied too late.
Sad.
Yeah. But I was basically like a regular freshman just looking for CS clubs. And so I found this one, like I think I found it on Facebook. And so there were like, they listed out the different kinds of things you could do. And under like tech, I just saw like a lot of stuff that I already kind of had experience with and was more interested in learning more about, like just regular software development stuff. And so I kind of joined just thinking it might be like another club, but then I was very surprised at kind of when you're in like a hackathon organizing team, it's not usually too big. So it's almost like, it kind of feels like a startup culture, sort of. And so I felt like I was doing things that I had no experience before doing. I was working with like backend stuff, and the coolest thing was that the director at the time put like a lot of trust in me, and I would not have put that level of trust in myself. So I was like scared my first semester, but I definitely have learned a lot just from the experience. And I would say that a lot that I've learned in CS comes from this club. So I'm really thankful that I've joined.
I'm really thankful that you've joined too, Arjun.
Thank you.
Yeah, my story is far less rosy than I think everyone else is here. I don't know if I've told you all this. I knew about Freetail back when I was in high school because I was looking at clubs to join at UT in computer science, and there was like that list, right? And I went to each of their websites, and we still had our old website at that point, and I saw the logo. That was pretty cool, right? It was like a bed, and there was a black background. I was like, that's cool. So I'm going to join that club. I had no idea what you did. I thought they were actually hackers. So yeah, so I didn't know what I was doing. And then when I got to like the Gone to CS thing or whatever, where they introduced all the clubs to us in person, and they said that their applications were going to open until spring. So then I just went to Hack Texas, decided I wanted to do what they did, and then I applied in spring and got in. And then also I applied to the corporate team just for the purposes of getting an internship and making recruiter connections. Yeah, it was a pretty selfish move for like 2 straight years, but I'm very glad that I went and made it, because as everyone else has said here, it was a good decision, and we really found a lot of good things by joining. Before moving on, we have one question from the chat. This one is in regards to SummerHacks. So Roshni asks, as you normally organize in-person hackathons, was an online one harder or easier to organize in general?
I'd say harder by far.
Really?
So,
to elaborate.
Yeah, my favorite part, at least for Hackathon, is meeting new people. Even as an organizer, I got to meet the sponsors, got to meet all the various attendees. So I'd say just that aspect, not having that social connection, meant that I was less motivated in a sense to actually do things, to actually get out there. I'd say just in terms of logistics, obviously, it's a lot easier. Everyone's sitting in the comfort of their home. Technically, the only stuff we need to do is like have office hours and stuff like that, which is a lot easier to organize than an 800-person ballroom with food, drinks, snacks, electricity, all those little details. So logistics-wise, it's easier. Motivation-wise, just the whole experience-wise, it's not as fun, which made it harder for me to stay motivated.
Yeah, building off of Kush's, for design, it just like he said about logistics, for design, it's been fairly easier because we don't have to do all the merch, like, t-shirts, have that done ahead of time, get that, the orders sent in, or stickers or whatever. Just throw, some posters together on Illustrator. Sorry, I'm making it sound so easy. It's not, not not to crap all over creative team. It's definitely a process, but it's easier when you're in the comfort of your own home, and it's the pandemic, so we've got all this time. However, this is Freetail's first ever digital hackathon, and we've never done anything like this before. So this is totally foreign to us. And so we'll have weekly meetings for SummerHacks, just the directors to go over, or the directors and the organizers, everybody putting this together. And we'll have to think of new ways to try to keep the attendees motivated, because motivation, as Kush said, was a huge factor. But yeah, it's a little bit difficult. It's a little bit difficult being creative for this. It's fun, but yeah, those have been the hardest parts, I think.
I will also say that this is our first event that we've ever held that was longer than 24 hours.
Yeah.
24 hours it feels like a really long time. And then you take that and you do 12 weeks of it, and it's a new ball game. So it's been a lot of different new things that we've kind of had to do for this one. But I think overall, there's been a lot of pros and a lot of cons from doing online, because we can do a lot more. We can have a lot more attendees. We can have worldwide attendees, which is awesome. We love being able to do that. But I also agree that it's a lot harder to make more personal connections and kind of get that hackathon experience. So.
Yeah, I think kind of like what everyone's been saying. It's like we've done so many in-person or like hackathons before. So like even if like we like this group of people have not like had the experience of like all the failures that we've had in the past and then like learning from them, we've learned from like the people who have, right? And so like for like in-person hackathons, we kind of have like the rhythm down. We kind of know like this is when we need to do what, these are the people we need to reach out to, and like we can split the roles easily and like get the whole org involved easily. I think for this, like because we didn't have that, we didn't know what to expect coming in. It was like harder in the sense of like trying to figure out what we needed to do when, and like just like the structure of like planning it was harder. I think like as we've gone on, it's gotten a lot easier because like we've done it for a couple weeks now. We know like week by week, okay, we need to plan out what events are happening this week. We need to like send out messages. We need to like, I don't know, message people who are giving events and stuff. So I think it's been like a mix of like easier and harder in like many different ways. But overall, I think it's been harder because it's completely new to us.
Cool. Yeah, I agree with pretty much everything that was just said. It does feel kind of weird, because like most of our in-person events, we spend like months planning an event that lasts a day or two. Whereas with SummerHacks, we spent maybe a week or two planning an event that lasted for months, right? So
we've been planning it as we go, kind of. So.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, we've had to make do with that, but I mean, improvise, adapt, overcome, right? that's the thing. All right, we have another YouTube question. Saloni asks, how is Kush so adorable? I don't know, Saloni. I just maybe he's not. How about that? All right, moving on.
It comes easy to him.
Got him.
It's hard on the rest of us.
Okay. All right. Moving on. Yeah. Keep the questions coming, guys. Even if they're jokes like that, totally fine. But right now, I want to move towards questions that are more like team specific. So before we do that, really quickly, I'd like you guys to go around and just give a quick one-sentence explanation of what your team does. Let's go alphabetically by first name backwards.
Okay. I'm the logistics director, and my team essentially handles all the little details. So from handling the timetable, making sure every event runs smoothly, and making sure that all the food and drink and everything is sorted out at the event.
Ellen?
Wait, what? Oh my God. Wait, no, I'm Didi, right?
No, Ellen. E comes after D.
C, D, E.
Oh. I'm really tired, guys. I just got up from a nap. I was confused for a second. Gosh.
We can tell.
Classic Ellen.
All right. So creative team does creative things.
Cool. Moving on.
Okay. My team is outreach, and we kind of do a mix of random things. Mostly our job is to like market our event and like post our like working with like creative team to like get like stuff up in like different places, like getting stuff up on Facebook pages, sending emails out to the department, things like that. Something that I've also been working on this year is like trying to make our hackathons more inclusive and just like more beginner friendly. So that is kind of outreach wrapped up together in a sentence or two.
Well, I'm a co-lead, so I don't really do anything. I don't really have a team. So.
You represent corporate, just.
I'm corporate director. I help get money,
Cool.
sponsors, and set up events and all that with the sponsors.
I don't know if I'm next, but
You are, yeah.
so on tech, we basically just focus on making things just streamline the hackathon process. And so we make like websites for advertising our hackathons, like registration systems. And those are kind of the essential things you might need. And other kinds of things are just more for like making things easier the day of, like tools for checking people in, marking them as having gotten through, finding ways to judge groups, since we usually have a huge number of attendees sometimes. Yeah.
Cool. And I am the corporate director, but since I'm hosting, I will defer corporate questions over to Brant. All right, so the first question, what would you say is the most difficult part of your job specifically, as in your team role? Any order.
So last year I was the corporate director, but for me, the hardest thing about it was figuring out how to convince people to give us money for free. Well, not for free, but for pretty much for free. And it's pretty difficult at first, especially kind of reaching out to very professional people. And as a freshman, I really, or what was freshman / sophomore, I hadn't really had any contact with any kind of professional in the real world. So it was kind of like my first real world talking to adults and making deals happen, kind of thing. So it's really intimidating.
Business 100.
Yeah. It was really intimidating at first, but after a while, the event kind of sells itself. So, yeah.
Not this year, but that's okay.
Yeah. We're gonna have to do a little bit more selling, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah. Good dream. Who's next?
I can go. I would say on tech, the hardest part for me is definitely like managing everyone. So there's 10 people on our team. And so we work on 3 different projects this year. And so just trying to keep track of everyone and like making sure that everyone's on progress is pretty hard. And then also making sure that internal communication is going well is also a bit challenging, because sometimes people within the same team are like talking to me instead of themselves. And so then I have to like, I guess, yeah, building teamwork, that is important.
I guess following up on Arjun's, design's kind of similar with the teamwork. I mean, there's a lot of things that go down in design, and especially since we have, 4, if I'm including myself, 4 talented designers on the team. It's hard because I know.
Oh, me.
Anj, of course, is part of the team. Amazing creative talent. But it's hard when you have, all these really great, like just great ideas and unique styles and obviously talented people, but you're trying to put these ideas together, and it's a little bit hard because you don't know, oh gosh, well, this person's typography is great, but so is this person's, or this person's color scheme is great, but Isabel's offering a really cool one. It's just, there's a lot of thought that goes into, how do I use all of these ideas and create a whole big picture. So I think that's probably the thing that I've struggled with the most as creative director. Oh, puppy.
Who's next? Didi, Kush?
Sure. Hardest thing about organizing, I think for outreach, like our role is pretty like straightforward. It's like the base of it is just like get the word out, right? And like that's like done pretty easily when you know like, oh, like these are the Facebook groups that I should post in, and like these are the people that we are like I should reach out to. So I think like the harder part for me and the more interesting part of the role is like thinking of ways that like our org and like our event can be more beginner friendly. It's like something that I am more passionate about than like the marketing side of it, I guess. And so I think that's just like always a hard challenge when you have any kind of like event of any like of this size. Like you can't make it like fully beginners, like because or like you can't make it just like the event tailored fully for beginners because not everyone is a beginner. But also like it's hard to like strike a balance for like people not to be intimidated, but also like for people who like have more skills to like not feel like they are being made to do all these things that they already know. So that's probably the most difficult thing for me.
I'd say for me, the hardest part about being like working in logistics is staying organized. So in my just normal life, I'm not a very organized individual.
Really?
So keeping track of all these various things for logistics, yeah, I know, surprising, right? Is kind of a challenge. So that was something I needed to overcome. First, when I joined the logistics team, and then when I became director, it was 10 times as difficult to stay organized. We have a question in the YouTube chat. What's your favorite thing about organizing hackathons? I'd say for a lot of us, because this is something we talk about a lot, just kind of our motivation for running hackathons. And like I mentioned before, it is the people. We all just love meeting the various people at hackathon, seeing what they build, and just seeing the passion that they build, they bring to this like very short 24 to 36-hour event. And that's honestly very inspiring for, I think, the majority of our entire team.
Yeah, agreed. And for a more detailed answer, please check out the beginning of this video, which will be uploaded later. Okay, moving on. So going to another team-specific question. So we've all organized last year's Hack Texas. I was not trying to be mean. We've all organized last year's Hack Texas, right? So what I want to know from you guys is what part of that event are you most proud of that your own team contributed to the event?
Oh my God, the merch.
Unless there's nothing.
I mean, obviously.
Like Kush.
Absolutely nothing. As
I did all the graphic design. What you mean?
Yeah, I designed everything. Sorry, we just carried it. Josh organized the whole thing single-handedly. Logistics didn't. No, Shashir's gonna come for me. No, I'm just kidding, guys. It obviously was a whole group effort from every single team. But if I were to choose my favorite thing from last hackathon or last Hack Texas, it would be seeing my merch on everybody, because that was my first year in Freetail. And so like that's why I'm kind of bummed about, you know, the whole not going in-person events. Or Hack Texas might be online, and SummerHacks is online. I can't provide you guys, you know, the awesome t-shirt merch, the sticker merch that we have. So it was really great, like pulling up to the venue, seeing how big it actually is. I thought it was really going to be small. I had no.
It was thick, dude. It's like almost like it's the biggest student-run hackathon in Texas.
It was.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was. It blew me away. I'm like, like, okay, we're designing it. Like, it's just, it doesn't hit you until you're actually there in person.
That's true. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, and then seeing people wear your merch, like, look, even now I'll see people wearing my t-shirts. Kush, for example, is wearing and it'll feel so good, and you know,
good t-shirt.
Yeah, it's such a flex. Feels good.
Yeah, it's like if you didn't exist, then Kush wouldn't be wearing anything right now. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, and God, that would be awful.
I won't show your hackathon merch. I promise.
All right, moving on. What about the rest of y'all?
I actually have to second that. After putting in all this work throughout the whole year and then not knowing if we'd have enough money to actually pull off the event. Walking into because what for me, I had to stay upstairs and like check everybody in for sponsors, and so I didn't really get to go down and really see anything until pretty late after pretty much everybody had already gotten there. So I'd walked in and saw the whole place pretty empty, and I was like, this is pretty nice. And then I walked back in once it was kind of bustling and everybody was there, and oh my gosh,
So you had the 0 to 100 difference.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I'll say I don't think there's another feeling like it. I think yeah, it was just it just paid off so well, and everything ran smooth enough for us to do well, and yeah, it was great.
So I'd say my favorite, so part of logistics also was working on the workshops, making sure that went smoothly. And everything actually went a lot better than I expected. We had some last minute tech hiccups with the projector not working, some stuff that came up. But we were able to like reorient ourselves pretty quickly, find alternate tech to essentially make sure the workshop ran smoothly, which was pretty nice because a lot of sponsors also ran workshops, so we couldn't risk annoying them.
For tech last year, our old director, David, he actually did most of the heavy lifting in terms of tech. So I would say the biggest thing for last year, at least, that seemed really cool tech-wise was we had like a mobile app for checking people in. And I believe the year before that, we also had one for like scanning people to mark them, like having gotten food. So that way we could kind of track things. And that's something we've been building upon more this year, kind of just maybe see like if attendees have attended particular workshops or if they've attended particular booths, and that could be something we kind of give to our sponsors to see how, like who's interested in them pretty much. And so just kind of seeing like feedback from our products the day of, that definitely kind of helps, and that's really rewarding.
I think for me, I think my role in outreach kind of like took a lot of different forms leading up to the event and like day of. Like obviously we're doing like the like marketing and the like getting people to come and like tabling and stuff beforehand. But like day of, we don't really have any like assigned roles. And so I think I kind of like just picked up like random things here and there that I just kind of ended up doing. And it just kind of ended up being like a mix of all these different things, which made it really fun because I was running around like doing all these things, feeling important, But I think what my favorite part might have been was like just talking to people that like were there and like seeing what they were making, just like walking around that floor of like of all like the attendees like hacking away and just like kind of going up to people I know and like random people I don't know and just seeing what they've made. It's just like super cool because like that's like the whole point of why we do this, right? Like we want people to like help people, give them a space to like make something. So I think that was probably my favorite part that I like kind of indirectly affected by like getting people to come, I guess.
Cool. Agreed. Yeah, I don't really have anything to add. Mine was probably the same as Brant's. Yeah, I think that is all the questions that I have prepared for tonight, guys. So if you're watching this on the live stream, please consider asking any last questions in the next minute or so. In the meantime, does anyone here have anything else they would like to add before we, conclude this panel?
Quick plug for Hack Texas.
Yeah. Oh, this is Didi's job, right? Didi, you do it.
We will be having our event virtually this fall. I don't remember the date. Someone will fill that in.
We're still deciding. It'll be late October or early November.
Okay. But since it'll be virtual, any of you who are attending SummerHacks can attend. It's going to be 36 hours, I believe, which means that there's time to sleep, which is really nice. It's brought to you by the same people that have brought you SummerHacks. So hopefully you've enjoyed SummerHacks and would want to attend another event from us.
I like to think we're cool people too.
Yeah, I like to think that too.
Except Kush.
Maybe I am.
But that's okay.
I made a face when you said that, so. But yeah, keep an eye out for that. We will be sending out more information in the following couple weeks towards the end of Summer Hacks.
Hooray, Hack Texas.
Free toe, free toe, free toe.
I definitely pull up, guys, because it'll be really fun.
Indeed. And we have some cool theme this year, right? I already forgot what it was. Ellen, what was it again?
We should have advertised that. So guys, drum roll please. Freetail's theme for Hack Texas 2020 is Space Cowboy. Woo! It felt so less dramatic online. Really fun. Definitely look out for the designs. It's gonna be crazy. It'll be a fun hackathon for sure.
I just realized I think I have to dress up like a space cowboy to do the entire event.
Dude, guys,
Ceremony, yes.
Let's not make that a hard requirement. Let's not.
That is the only requirement.
Yeah.
Please, no. Oh, would you look at that? I have something that weekend. What a shame. All right. Well, there are no more questions in the YouTube chat, so I'm going to go ahead and call it. Thank you all so much for attending. As usual, if you have any questions after the fact, please feel free to message any of us on Slack. And have a great rest of your day, week, month, summer, and year. Bye, y'all.